New to the Lions, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, then you already know what is going on. Listen, Lions, we're doing big, 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 big things in Lions. Den. We are 8 days away from the release of Ain't No Lover Boy FR. Really 7 days, about 16 hours and some change. Blase, blase, blase. And if you have not pre-saved it already, deport your ass right on up out of here. If I had a gavel, I would. If I had a gavel, I would. Not a screenshot it. If I had a gavel, I would cock on your ass. But I ain't gonna do y'all like that today. I'm gonna just keep it humble and keep it real nice for y'all. Keep it real handsome for y'all. All right, now listen, Lions. I want to talk to y'all about what you can expect from me the next you know month into the next. We're gonna say from the next. We're gonna say from now to the next 2 years. What you can expect from me from now to the next 2 years. Give me 1 second, Lions. Ultimately, you can expect me to succeed in my career, my craft, in every creative thing that I choose to do. Um, that's ultimately. So I realize a lot of times, when I talk about my where I want my career to go, sometimes the numbers drop. Or when I talk about things like, and I'm just having a vulnerable moment with you right now, Lions. Sometimes when I say things like in 5 years or in 2 years or in 30 years, and I'm only bringing this up because I feel as though people should know how important it is to make sure the people that you support or that you vibe with, you actually see them not only being, but sustaining who they are. All right. I think it's very important that you and by you I mean you who who's listening. I'm not talking how I talk, but I think it's very important that you, as a person who listens to people like me, my music and other artists or whoever you listen to, um, everything Mason Jyree and the Lions Den, that you really see resonance. And if you don't know what resonance means that you really vibe with me. Resonance means that you really see me, you see a version of yourself within me. Give me 1 second, Lions. A lot of the times when I'm talking about things like where I'm gonna be and what I'm gonna do, it's because I am going to do that, you know. And like I said earlier in the live earlier, when I talk about things about like where I'm going to go, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 30 years from now, the numbers kind of get a little wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. And I feel like a lot of people, some people, they may not plan their life that far. Some people don't plan the next day of their life. Some people don't plan the next 2 months. Some people don't have passion or drive. And people who maybe they don't plan, maybe they don't have passion or drive, they just tend to skip over it. Some people don't look at their life as where they're going to be at in the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever reason they do it, whatever reason they don't do it is, that's not my problem. My problem is when it comes, when it comes to me talking about where I'll be at in the next 5 to 10 years. And I don't know if people, presume it to be fluff or presume me to just be talking or, also just like I say, they lack the drive or ambition or they don't know where their life is headed or know what they want out of their life. But I think it's very important that even me, because I'm still a person, the people that you support, you really see them being who they embody, and not only see them who they are being, but also them sustaining it throughout a plethora of years. The people that you support should be people that you want to see succeed, that you want to see thrive, and the ones that you can actually see being here in the next 2 to 3 years. Look at the times of like 2009 and who's still here now. Look at the times of the early 1990s and who's people like that. And I told y'all yesterday I'm bringing back that old school artistry, neither here or there. However, that's what I'm talking about, making sure that if you resonate with me, you resonate. If you don't know what resonate means, it just means to feel like this person is meaningful to you, to feel as though you see a version of yourself within myself, whether it be whatever you see from me, how I talk, how I come off, my comedic ways, my creativity, whatever it be, it should be that you resonate with what I'm giving up. It shouldn't just be you supporting somebody because of overall hype. overall stuff like that. Hype hasn't got me this far. Sustainability and resonance has got me this far, and I think that's very important that I really speak about. Because a lot of people feel as though because you're not, presumably on everyone's feed all around today, that you aren't doing anything. Period. And that's not the case, or that you won't be anything one day. Period. Y'all have heard this all the time. And we all have heard it because we're all people. The tortoise won the race, not the hare. And that's very much so true. The quicker they lift up, the quicker they fall down. The quicker you want something, the quicker it leaves your life. You can even see that down to the basics of it. If you get quick money, how quick it leaves your life. Unless you're just good with it like that, the quicker people lift up, the quicker they fall down. And I feel like it should be more appreciativeness for people like me and other people, creatives who are really, we're peaking later in our career before a reason. We're peaking, later in our career because it was certain things that we needed to learn, or certain, we needed, just to take time. So when we got what we get, when I get to the top, I stay there. I don't think y'all understand how important that is. A lot of people make it to the top, but most people don't stay. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have that number one. A lot of people have that TikTok hit, but they don't stay there, y'all. The goal is to stay there throughout years of your career. Am I lying? Or is it just when Mason Jyree talks, and because you've never heard about Mason Jyree before, you don't know Mason Jyree because you're outside of the Lions Den, you feel like it's some fluff. When we see evidence and we see people before me who have paved the way for me, who have done that, who are still at the top, because they didn't just look at overall, sensationalism or whatever. I guarantee some people are plugged in. Mason Jyree ain't plugged in. All right. I built everything to the top. I'm the plug now. I told y'all yesterday, I said, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up because I was the main friend. Like, I thought I was supposed to fit in somebody else's group and they're supposed to be fitting in mine. I felt as though I needed the plug and I'm the plug. You get the type of ordeal. And I think that's just very, 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 very important that people know that I'm a slow burn success. And I feel as though even when nobody was looking, I kept going. You have some people who, like I said in the previous live, and I've told y'all this a lot of times, and if you're new to the Lions Den, when I say Lions, that's my subscribers, but I don't like that basic terminology. That gets me too general, too general. So yeah, every person, everybody has a name for their supporter base. They call them a fan base. I call it a supporter base. Everybody has a name. Mine is the Lions. We're in the Lions Den. We keep it hot and spicy. So if you're new to the Lions Den, welcome, welcome, welcome. I just wanted y'all to get the terminology out of there, because it's so many people in the world. We all know that, but it's hard to come on here every day and just reiterate and clear up who you are all the time. So it's like, yeah. And if you don't, y'all don't feel like there's a lot of people in the world, forgive me. We must be living on two different planets because there's a lot plethora of people in the world. So that's that. I think it's very important to know that. I did not even see that. What's up, Aaron? I think it's very important to know that what I have in store for y'all is not only for me, but it's for people who represent where I come from and people who I represent. So every level of success that I gain, we gain. Every level of just the increments that I go up, because my success, even though people are being extremely peeping Tom and wanting to be all of my business, my success is very much incremental. And if the difference between me and somebody who receives overnight and quick success is that can be overwhelming. When you receive some things very much so overnight and too quick, you don't know how to handle it. You miss a lot of loops. You don't tie a lot of ties. You don't string a lot of the things that you need to do. Whereas if you're in my shoes, somebody who has I feel like a Jay-Z, build it brick by brick, build it up, came from nothing, out the mud, type of ordeal. It's different. It's different. It's different. And listen, I only bring people up not to clout chase, because I don't care. I don't clout chase. I could have been did that. I bring people up, legends like Jay-Z, Beyonce, because I want y'all to get a taste of what type of who I am and what category you could put me up in there in. Legend, Grace Jones, Elton John. That's why I bring people up, so y'all can get a taste of, just music and just everything like that. Not that I want to anything like that, because yeah, yeah, it's very much just to give y'all a glimpse. of the archetype of what I'm going for, and that's empire building. And don't get me wrong, like listen, part of me is very much microwavable society. Part of me wants it quick. It's been a lot of nights where I've sat up in my bed and I've got like mad, and I've been like, why not me? It's a lot of nights where I've sat up and saw people win or saw people eat that I felt as though did not deserve it. Who I felt as though they received it. Like they just poof, bibbidi bobbidi boo. In the meanwhile, I'm over here working my ass off. So that's that. That is that. And people. It's not up for me to care. I know the people inside the den. I know my lions in the den, the people who are subscribed to me. I know y'all care, but it's not for me to give a fuck about if the people outside of the den care. Yes, cried some nights. Some nights I will sit up and be like, damn, I feel like everybody's winning but me. Everybody was winning, I feel like, but me. And it's like I had to realize I am winning. I'm winning. As I'm just getting started, they're gonna be nobodies. You know what I'm saying? In the next 1 to 2 years, who? All right then. So chill out, Mason Jyree. I have to tell myself that. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Relax. But I love you, Lions. When I say I love you, I mean it. And abon toi.